Hi everybody and welcome back to Nellie and Ruth Designs. Well, I thought we would take the time today, I would take the time today, as well as you, because you're sitting with me at my craft table, and I want to share with you and show you what I'm going to be working on in 2025, what we're going to be doing, both on YouTube and over on my Patreon. So I have a totally different layout for both places. And I really want to get into my Patreon this year. I want to do more over on there. And for my YouTube, what I really want to do is I really want to put out, you know, I want to say quality over quantity. I want to try to do different things than everyone else does. I still want to do my collaging and such, but I don't want to just, make journal after journal after journal. A lot of you know I make a Christmas journal, and I share that. My journals do not get a lot of views. A lot of people do not take interest in them because there are so many people out there, much larger channels, that have been doing journals for years. So they go to those channels. I like to share my journal with you, for different ideas. And I think mine might be a little bit different. They're not as elaborate as some girls, but I'm more into the details of my journaling, whether it using the gold paints or, little sayings or whatever. And then, I just have a different way about how I go about and I create, and that's what I want to share with you. So I've made a list. I've made a list for YouTube again, and I've made a list for Patreon. So let me show you what you can expect to see from me on my channel in 2025. So the one thing that I would really like to do, I started last year and I didn't get very far. I'm just going to move this over to the side so I can refer to it and explain things to you. So my first one here is create master boards, and then I really like creating the ATC cards, tags, and greeting cards. I really like making greeting cards, and I usually do a nice video come the beginning of April, end of March, because my girlfriend's birthday is April 23rd. And is it the 23rd or 28th? I forgot. I think it's the 28th. My brother's is the 23rd. Hers is the 28th. And I love giving her a baker's dozen of greeting cards. So this is the book that I started this past year. It's called Country Wisdom and Know-How. I got this at an estate sale, and I think it was in the free pile. But this is a really cool book. It's very large. It looks like it might be like 16 by 12 or something like that. And I just thought, I can rip pages out too, obviously, to create tags and such. See, I put all little scraps in here that I've used from journals and other things, and then I'm going to make a new collage page. But I've been making, with my scraps, these collage pages, and I want to use these, cut them, use them for ATC cards and tags and things like that. So we'll be making, it'll be twofold. We'll be making collages, collage pages using scraps, and then I will start in the beginning, rip this out, and we will make some ATCs with these. The backs, I know the backs have writing on them. I will just cover them up if they're an ATC. If it's for a tag, I might leave some, but it'll be interesting trying to figure that out. So that is one project that we are going to do. I have to put things back here. as I use them. Otherwise, it's going to get overcrowded on my desk. Okay, I'm going to continue, as everyone knows, with the crossword puzzle collaging. And I have new books. And I just did a flip through on this. If you haven't seen the flip through of this book, I invite you to go back, take a look at that. So I started creating these in place of another collage challenge I worked on over the past couple years. And I really enjoy this so much more because I don't have to look for certain prompts. I can do my own ephemera. The other reason I started this book as well is I have so many pretty items that, you know, in ephemera stickers that I haven't used, and they just sit. They're you know, forgotten. They're my little forgotten friends, and it's nice to go through folders or drawers and such and take them out and repurpose them and use them again. So I'm still going to try to post these. I like to post these on a Sunday morning. So I'm still going to try to get these out Sunday morning, okay, at the end of the first week of each month. So we're still going to continue with the crossword puzzle collaging. The other thing that I really want to do, and it's really bugged me for quite some time now. I have got a large drawer. This has come out of a large cabinet that I have, and I'm going to open this up and just kind of slide this through this way. This here, and we can go through this if you're interested in seeing all of it. But this is, you talk about, you know, forgotten friends. Let me move this up here a little bit. This is all ephemera that I have made throughout the years. And when I make it, I throw it in this pile here. And a lot of these, some were for challenges. Some were just because I wanted to create and play. Well, these do not have a home. And I'll just show you some different things, you know, that I have made. So I've made tags. This here, I have made almost like a slide film frame here with a really pretty butterfly sticker. And this is what I'm talking about, using items that are kind of forgotten about. This little punch here, this was a piece of scrap that I had somewhere. This here, these are stamp stickers that are sitting in another spot, not being used. Some of these butterflies. These flowers here, these came from a book that I had cut out. And I love floral. Everybody knows that. Flowers and butterflies. So I decided to make some fun ephemera with these, using the flowers. And I have so many stamps that are just sitting around. So I've made those. This here is from the large, this is going to go in my mom's book because this is a picture of my mom. This is probably probably 1930, this photo. And this is a vintage seed pack. This is a card, and you can see, we could make some of these if you want to. These are one of the 5x7 playing cards. This actually, I made the back into a pocket, so I can tuck a little something back there. Maybe a little prayer or whatever. And I cut this out as a frame. I put the seed packet in. And then this isn't 1949, but I used that little tag there. So I love working with these oversized playing cards. This here are these will be going into my angel and religious book that I work in over on my Patreon. So I have so much ephemera in here that I have made. I've got some belly bands that I've created. I haven't used those yet. I have this sweet little piece here, which is just adorable. I have a lot of vintage photos. Here's another one. And again, I have these really cool stickers, and these are of fashion women. I don't know if you noticed it here. There's a little fashion woman here. I just love these vintage sewing women, fashion women, and I've used them. This was made for me. I put that in there. Here's another part of a belly band. Oh, let's see, what else do I have? Oh, these here I made. I could just go through. I just need to make a different video. But these are all, I wanted to make a book using daffodils. And these are all fun little daffodil and flower images out of a book. And I love making these. I have the die cut to make these. I love making these little slide films. So maybe we will make a daffodil book. That's an idea. But you can see this is just chock full. I have watercolor pieces in here. Here's Christmas. This is a little file folder, Christmas file folder. I have these birds here with fun glittered pieces. So again, I just have I've got some larger cards that I've collaged with all these sweet little pieces. And these came from overseas. I can't remember. They're not from the UK, but I love making collages with all of these little girls here. I just think these are so sweet. I have deer that I have to use. These are stamps. I've got some beautiful stamps that I've used here. This one, these were, I was obviously focusing on postage stamps and watercolor. This is a library. This is a library piece that you peel this off and you can put it in your book. And these are stickers. These came from Ireland. Here's some more watercolor. So as you can see, I have a lot of different style ephemera. This is with some tulle and round. These are stickers. Here is a holiday. This is a Christmas, which this year I think I want to make a really cool vintage style Christmas journal. So these are just some of the things. This is a larger piece, and this is on a very large file folder divider, and I really like making these. And this here is a little tiny pocket. You could put something in there, but this is made with a small envelope, and this is fabric here that I folded. This is a brad. I have some feathers here. I stitched around it in gold, but I really like this too. I like to put these in journals, and you can just write. That's a big card. Here's some more. I did some pressed flower slide film. So these are all flowers for my garden. All right. So as you can see, I have a really good variety of different items. Here's a cute little tag. Let it snow. This opens up. I think this is just really cute. So I'm going to be working out of this drawer here. I know I did a video on these. Oh, here, who are these from? Okay, this is from a gal I used to correspond with. And these are some different ephemera pieces that she sent to me. Okay, so enough of that. Here's a cute little card. I can't stop looking at this stuff. This one is really cute. I remember making this one. And as you can see, I've always tried to use my pattern women because I just love them. I just really, really enjoy using them. Here's another bingo card. This was a lot of fun with a vintage postcard. So I'm going to be working in this, out of this here. I'll be making some new journals to put this stuff in, and I'll be using a former journal that I have. So that's fun. And then I'll be putting some of the ephemera in this journal here. This is a really big, thick. This is one of the first journals I made. And you can see it's really, really big. And probably what I will do to continue in this, I'll just be doing a lot of journaling in here. But as you can see in this one, I did a lot of embroidery pieces. And these are these larger cards that I talked about, where I like putting these in here. And then you can write on the back side. Again, I have a lot of little cute little tucks and spots, and I've done a lot with fabric in here and journal beadwork. So, like I said, this is one of the first journals that I made. I try to put important dates and messages and stories and things like that in here. I haven't used it in quite a while. This little cluster I made, this has a lot of my mom's little pieces with it. This is fabric right here, this little gal, the fabric piece there. So I'll be putting some in there, and then, like I said, I'll be making a new journal. Okay, so that's the ready-made ephemera. We'll make a new journal and then place in an existing journal. I'm going to continue doing the color cube collage book, because everybody really enjoys those. And if you're not familiar with the color cube collaging, that's where I pick a color cube card, and it gives you 5 different colors, and I have to collage with those colors only. And I know you all really like this as well. And this one here, this is from, I don't know if this is Marta but these all came from a collage book. And then this is, this here is from Joey, card maker. This is out of my Barbie playing card deck. And this is Joey, card maker. So you can take a lot of things. This is from a calendar. This one obviously had all blues. And this one here. So again, I know that everybody, and I love working in these, and it gives, again, an opportunity to use my stamps that I haven't used in years, fun paper, stitching. This is from Deuteronomy 31:6. Be strong, courageous, and firm. Fear not, nor be in terror before them, for it is the Lord your God who goes with you. He will not fail you or forsake you. And I just thought these two gals, these are digital heads, and these are digital bodies as well. I just thought they looked like 2 fabulous warriors. And then this is from my Pinup Girl book. So it's been, I mean, I love working in this. So this is definitely, I will definitely continue in the Color Cube Collage book. So you can look forward to that. Collage postcards, 4x6 and 5x7. So I believe I showed you these books one other time. So I really want to do collage postcards. And the 5x7 are made from the oversized playing cards. Okay. And I really like these. And they look like this. Okay, they're 5x7, and they're just fabulous. You can buy these on Amazon. So you have the backs of the card, and then you have, obviously, the face side. And you don't need to buy these, but if you want to create, and these are nice when you want to collage and leave part to show that it is a playing card, which I think will be really cool to do, especially when it's the king, the joke, or the king, the queen, and the jack. These here I did cover up because this was the October Birdtober challenge, where the Birdtober challenge is where they give you maybe 30 birds, because it's for the month, 30 or 31 birds, and you have to find the bird. Like the first bird might be, like number 1 might be a penguin, number 2 would be a woodpecker, number 3 a robin, but they're more exotic birds. They're not just your typical, like this is a macaroni penguin, and it was a macaroni penguin that you had to find. So I have a really cool bird book, and it has birds from the world in it. So this is why I did this challenge. But I really like, here's a blue-throated hummingbird. So I worked on the challenge. This is a mute swan. And I really enjoyed, here's a zebra finch, creating these collages. A pileated woodpecker. This one here is a secretary bird. So we will be working, and I may do my bird, I'm going to continue as well, just so everybody knows, with my bird collaging. Collaging is for the birds. I'm going to continue with that series as well. So I may do them on these cards, not necessarily in a big collage like I have been doing. But so I have them in this book. I just wanted to show you there. And then I also have them, these are the 4x6, okay? And again, this was another challenge that I participated in. I can't remember who put it on. I think it was Pam. I can't remember. This was an Instagram challenge. And I really enjoyed this because, again, it gives you the opportunity to use your stamps. And in this challenge, they don't tell you what to use. They might tell you they want you to use a butterfly, black, pink, and whatever. This here, I did little French knots in here to enhance that. This, I think, was just, you had to use a stamp, and then you had to do a splashy back collage. But you can see I did this back in 2022. So these are the 4x6 cards. And this one I think was really a lot of fun because these here are all sequins, and these came from my mom's stash. And I love incorporating sequins and fabric and everything else. So that's a fun card. This one here is when everything fell in Ukraine. So yeah, so we'll be doing some 4x6 cards. I did a series on sweater weather. These came out of a old McCall's magazine because I just love my vintage women. This one here is quite fun, the little rabbit with the gold. And so we're going to be doing more of that style collaging as well. The other thing I want to do with you over on YouTube is I made this decoupage box quite some time ago, and this was a candy box, and in this I house all of my waxes for my wax seal. This is my wax seal kits in here, okay? I don't have too many, but I have enough, and I have the ones that I really like. So I wanted to house them. Like I said, this was a candy box, and everything fit in here perfectly. And this was the top of the candy box. So I decoupaged, obviously, the box, and my mom was a big gal to decoupage, and I had a lot of her gold braid and her trim, and I thought this would be the perfect box to use up her gold trim. And then this here is from my daughter-in-law's wedding dress, just to add a little bit of frill on the bottom. And again, I just used items that I really like, you know, the paper dolls and flowers and butterflies. And then I have a little piece of hardware on the top, a little handle. And then I just labeled it wax kit. And I decoupaged the box, or the top. And this sits over on my counter. And I have everything in one place where it belongs and where it should be. So that is my decoupage box. And I have a wooden box here that I want to decoupage. I want to make a little box for someone. I don't know who yet. But this came out of my mom's collection, and it's all primed and painted and ready to go. And I have a lot of my mom's velvet, so I can line this with a little velvet container. And in the cellar, I have little gold hinges here to open and close it, and I have little gold feet as well. So we're going to be decoupaging this box here, which I think will be a lot of fun. And then come November, most likely, I will start a Christmas journal. So that is what is planned and what is set in stone for YouTube of 2025. So what I want to go over with you now, for the gals that are members or patrons over on my Patreon, I want to tell you what we're going to be working on over there for the year. And that way also, it's twofold. If you're not sure, you know, I thank all of my gals that support me over on my Patreon in each video. That is one of the perks if you join one of the tiers. You can go over there and look at the different tiers. And I want to show you now what we're going to be working on over there for the year. So the first thing I'm going to show you, because I don't have it listed. I've got two things I don't have listed. I kind of got distracted and didn't add them. So I'm going to show you first. So this journal here, I'm going to work in again. It's been a long time since I've worked in this. And this was a journal that I bought from a gal on Instagram. And I didn't like it, but I liked what she had inside. I didn't like the outside design. So when I got it, I modified the outside and I put, obviously, pictures on that I liked. I added the gold brads here, and I added the button and the silk for a closure. So this is something that I go to every now and then, and I work in. Again, it's very florally, very feminine. I use my punches. I have a lot of German stickers. I'm trying to make it into a kind of like a little romantic style journal for myself. But what's special about this is I've been adding, we went to Italy. My husband and I went to Italy in 2019 with my friend that I grew up with since we were 3 years old. And I purchased over in Italy, I went to a wonderful shop for stationery. And I purchased postcards and greeting cards. And one of the reasons why I bought this book was the gal that made this had quite a few postcards in here from Italy. So that was one reason why I wanted to grab this. But as you can see here, this is a card that I actually purchased. It's just a little card like this. I purchased this over in Italy. There was a woman, an elderly woman, that made little cards, and it helped her out, obviously. She was selling them. She had her own little corner. This is the Bridge of Sighs. This is in Venice. She had her own little corner. And I just wanted to help her out. And I'm going to see if I can find another couple little cards. There's not much in here. But basically, I kind of use this as a glue book as well. And I put images in here that I normally wouldn't put in a journal. But I want to put it, I want them in this book. Here's a stamp from Australia. This is from Malaysia. This is the Colosseum in Rome. So I'm kind of using this as a glue book slash just a little special book. No, I might not have. I have a whole pile of my cards from Italy over to the left, but I don't really want to bring them out because we're going to be working on them over on Patreon. But this is the little book that we'll be doing and working in over there. And I'm going to be putting some personal photos in here from the trip and different things. So we have that. And then the other thing that I didn't write on my list, over on my Patreon, I try to do more with Christian-based Bible verses and things like that. And this I started some time ago, and obviously you can see I didn't finish it. But I started with the Beatitudes. So I have Matthew 3, 5, 3, 5, 4, and 5, 5. And on these, I collaged the front, and then on the back, blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted. And then I have all about the blessing, the explanation of that beatitude. And I want to finish this. I have everything here. I have everything written out and typed out. But I would really like to finish this. And these are just little prayer cards that I want to create so I can put downstairs. And if I have a cup of tea or a cup of coffee, I can refer back to them and I can look at the prayer cards. So we're going to be making some prayer cards over there. The next thing I really want to explore is I have a book here that I absolutely adore. And it's called Gift of the Sea. And it's by Anne Morrow Lindbergh. And we all know about the Lindberghs and the Lindbergh baby. And Anne Lindbergh wrote this book. It's called Gift from the Sea. If you've never read it, you should really read it. It's a wonderful book. It was written in 1955. This is the 50th anniversary edition. And it has a saying in here. From her daughter, a dedication, I should say. But this is all about a woman's life through seashells and what each seashell meant to Anne Lindbergh and what her life was like, how she could relate different chapters in her life to these seashells. So I have this book. And I have this beautiful journal that I got from Carol Laws. And this book here is called Sea Treasures. So if you haven't seen the flip through of this journal, you can go over to Carol's YouTube channel. Isn't that funny how the colors almost match? So when Carol was working on this is when the idea struck me to take Gift from the Sea and incorporate some different pieces out of here, maybe a poem, or I've read that I've had little checks and marks. I've underlined things that pertain to me. And I thought we could explore this book, and then I want to transfer things into this journal that I acquired from Carol. And I just thought it would be a lovely project to work on and go through this journal and do some writings and do some verses out of this book and work hand in hand, kind of like a workbook style. So I'm going to be doing that over on my Patreon with you ladies. The next one, we're definitely going to continue. We have been working, and I call it my Angel Prayer Book. And what did I do with that? Right here. There we go. Getting messy. Here we go. My prayer cards. So this book here this was created by Kate over at Pixie K Design, Kate Spade, and I just love this book. And we started working on this over on my Patreon, and I'm using it as an art journal. And we're going to explore, this is where we discussed Saint Raphael, and then I have, you know, some explanations about Saint Raphael, because I didn't know about Saint Raphael, and one of my viewers on YouTube mentioned him to me. So in this year, we're going to explore the saints. We're going to do a whole thing on a lot of different saints. We're going to break down like the Lord's Prayer. We're going to talk about that. We're just going to talk about a lot of different things. I want to explore more of Mary, and being a mother to Jesus and what that must have been like. This is some extra ephemera that Kate included. But that's what we're going to be doing in this book here. We're going to be doing a lot of, I know Amy, we talked about I mentioned Saint Expedite in one of my videos. So Saint Expedite is going to be one of the first saints that we explore and we add into that journal there. Vintage photo album. Again, we're going to continue collaging. And I think I showed this in a video last July. I bought this when my husband and I went into this really small town just north of us called Ballston Spa. And I found in an antique store this unbelievable vintage photo album. And I really want to collage around these photos. I do not have a date. I've taken a lot of these photos out, but there's no date on them. But they look like they're from the 1800s. And they're just really cool photos. And I thought we could just do some really pretty collaging around each one. And just have a nice chat and a nice time collaging in this book. So we're going to be working in that. Okay. The other thing I'm really excited about, and that's why I said I'm going to step it up over on my Patreon, because I have so many things I want to do over there as well. This is Bella Grace, a field guide to everyday magic. I saw these when I was in Cleveland. I don't know if it was July or whenever. I've been there so many times lately. They had 3 of these. 2 I sent out to a couple of my gals on Patreon. And it'll be very easy for you to follow along. You can collage and you can work in a notebook or however you want to do it. But this has different themes in it. It has different sayings. It has different, a place for your thoughts. And whenever the mood strikes me, I'm going to be talking about something that's on my mind, or I will pick a page out of here. Such as meeting goals always feel satisfying no matter how small they may be. Consider some of the little things you'd like to achieve, even if they're a little silly like roller skating backward or memorizing the lyrics to a challenging song. What are some of the little things you want to accomplish? So this is a perfect example where I would write my list, what I'd like to accomplish, why, and what it means to me to accomplish it. Then we could do a partial collage on the left-hand side of the page. And whenever the mood strikes, I will take this out. It's not going to be necessarily a weekly thing that we do. But if all of a sudden, like I said, the spirit moves me and something strikes me, I will come to this and we will work, and I will make a video. And I think this will just be absolutely lovely to work in and play with. And this is where I share a lot of personal things over on Patreon that I don't on my YouTube. So this will be one of them. The next thing I thought is I want to write a little book. Now, I've always wanted to write a book, and I love little books like this. Reasons to be Happy at the Beach by Sandy Gingras. And this is one of my favorite books. This sits in my library on the shelf, and every now and then I will take it out and I will sit down with my tea or coffee and I will go through it. And she has a beautiful little watercolor. You know, the first step over the dune, holding a baby in the waves, the sound that flip-flops make. And it's just a really sweet little book. So I want to pick a theme. See, the sound of a little engine heading out, how still an egret stands, catching one, which is a wave, when the turtles hatch. I want to pick a theme, and I want to do a little book like that. So I have this. My husband got me a new Le Creuset pot for Christmas, and this is the little book on how to take care of your pot. So there was, how many pages? 50 pages in here. But regardless, there's 80 pages. So what I did was, there's 40 pages here, and I took it apart, and there's 40 pages here. So I'll probably make 2 little books. And I'm just going to collage in here. I'm going to cover these pages, and we can collage. I want to write. And I want to make it very similar to a little book like this. And it's just reasons to be happy at the beach. And I'll say reasons to be happy somewhere else. And we can do something like that. All right. So that is on my agenda over there. The other book that, okay, so the other, because books really mean a lot to me. This book here I actually bought it for my husband. It's called The Stone Cutter. It's by John J. Muth and John Kuramoto. And it has a wonderful story in it. It has a wonderful, the moral to the story is, and it's very simply illustrated. But the message is very, very powerful. And I want to go through this with you. I want to discuss it. I want to talk about it. And then we can do some sort of collage. I would like to do a black and white style collage. I definitely will not be collaging in this book. I will have another book next to me, or just maybe a 4x6 card. And it will be all black and white collaging. And it could maybe even be a journal. I don't know. I'll figure that out. But I really want to share this book with you because this is one of my favorite books. And then the last thing that I am going to do on my Patreon is I have this book here. I have cards and I have a book. This is 365 Poems for Life, an uplifting collection for every day of the year. We will explore some poetry. And again, I'm thinking of doing watercolors. So I have poetry art using watercolors. And it could be, you could do it however you want to do it. You could do it in a greeting card format. You could do it just on regular watercolor paper that you might want to, I don't know, put in a journal or whatnot. Excuse me. But some of the poetry in here is just lovely. And I thought it would be a lot of fun to explore some of the poetry in here and do some watercolor based on that. And then I also have these art poetry cards for insight and inspiration, illustrated and written by Allison Durant. And these I just absolutely love. These I purchased a couple years ago, I think. And she is a wonderful watercolorist, a watercolor artist. I call them watercolorist. And what Allison has done with these cards is plant seeds of joy. And again, I thought we could pull a card, kind of like I do for my color cube, and we could create a collage around some of these sayings. Tomorrow is a new day. Forgive, accept, and move forward. And I could share stories on different things like this. Find calm and peaceful moments. Find green spaces and explore them. Find the magic in each moment. So we could do some abstract watercolor. Find peace in the present. I'll pull a card. There's many, many. I don't know how many cards are in here. Let me see if it says. I'm sure it does. 71 illustrated cards to facilitate moments of stillness. So maybe this could be our tea time. I could make this a tea time. Add color to your world. And then we could just play. I'm not very confident with my watercoloring yet. And I think this would be a lovely time to be silent with a cup of tea and my watercolors in front of me and just play and just see, play and doodle and see what comes to be by doing that. So let's go of what is not serving you. So that is my agenda for 2025. It sounds very ambitious, but when I think about it, I think it's going to make some lovely, lovely videos. And I think it's going to be just really nice quality time that I'll be spending with everyone. So if you have any ideas, you can always send them in. If maybe I'm stuck for something, or if you have a suggestion on something, I would love to hear from you. But that's the agenda for YouTube and my Patreon, and that way you can also plan. I wanted to let you know what I'm doing, so if you need to get certain ephemera out, or you need to start thinking for the crossword puzzle collages, or if you want to, do a decoupage over on my, with a box or a candy box or whatever, you can start gathering items now. And maybe the beginning of each month, I can tell you, the days that we'll be working on certain things. I don't like to do that because then it really puts a little bit more pressure on me. I kind of have to see my mood and where I'm at and what I want to do. So that is it from me for today. I hope this excites you as to what we are going to be doing. I do invite you to go over and check out the tiers for my Patreon. The higher tiers, it starts at $10 to be able to see an exclusive video. And everything that I'll be doing on here does come under the exclusive video tiers. So that starts at the $10 a month. And that's it. So again, I hope you enjoyed what you saw today. I hope it excites you. And I will see you in the beginning of the year. All right, everybody. Have a great new year. Stay healthy. Many blessings. And I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.